So I was watching a video about Shonen Jump crossovers, right?
Uh,
And come to find out that the roster, because I told you, I think I texted you the other day about people complaining about the roster, and people are they're just completely bagging on Renji, right? And here's the
yeah.
thing. So the first crossover for Shonen Jump, it happened in 1988. 19 freaking 88. And it had over 33, well, not over, but it had 33 representatives of different franchises in the different manga franchises. And that crossover was in 1988. It had 16 playable characters: Kenshiro, Goku, JoJo, Ariel. Like there was diversity even in that small little cast, and there was more representation in there. And then Jump Superstars. You remember the game on the DS, the one that was like
Oh,
one was like Smash Brothers.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so that game, and I'll still say that those games are still like the best Shonen Jump crossover games. Like the first game had 27 different manga represented. It had 34 characters, and then the sequel had 56 playable characters and 41 series represented. And compare
Just
that,
sounds better.
like, yo, compare that to what we have now with Jump Force. It's like 15 to 16 different manga or different anime or franchises or whatever. 15 or 16 different franchises represented, and the majority of the roster is taken over by Naruto, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. And then to make matters worse, J Star's Victory Versus, which is like the obviously the most recent one, that had 32 series. They had 32 series represented and 39 playable characters. Now, yeah, Jump Force has way more characters, obviously, but how many series could like just compare? Like half of the freaking roster is Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto. And you remember that game, like it didn't come out here in the States. Do you remember that game, what was it called? Dawn Battle Stadium?
Oh, it sounds familiar. Hold on.
Yeah, it was that thing with like a Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto. It was only on the GameCube. It never came out here. It was sort of like Smash Brothers a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all basically, like, that's what half of this roster is for Jump Force. Think about it. That's what half of this roster is. Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto, and just a bunch of other characters. When it shouldn't be like that. All these other games in the past, even the games from 1988, had more
Oh, yeah, it was on
representations. What do you say?
Oh my God, it was on PS2 too. I remember this now. It
Yeah,
was on
yeah.
PS2 too. I remember this. I remember this.
And like, what's pissing me off so much is that we got J Star's Victory Versus, but we never got. I was always so mad that we never got Jump Superstars or Jump Ultimate Stars. Like it's almost like Japan just wants to give us the crap, just give us the garbage. Like Jump Force, like here's the thing. Like, well, we I think we both said this before that this like it's not a bad idea. And like when I was watching the video about the Shonen crossovers, they mentioned the fact that Dawn Battle Stadium and like the Jump Superstars games, that those games are like they're basically like Smash Brothers. And I'm like, that's what they should do. Just make a Smash Brothers clone. Because making these arena fighters, first of all, we've had like a million arena fighters, and it's not even that fun to play. You might as well just copy Smash Brothers. Nobody's gonna get on you for it because everyone has copied Smash Brothers at one point. PlayStation has done it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have done it. Like I think everyone's done it about this time. About this point, like why continue to copy this stupid arena formula? I don't know why they keep doing that.
I don't know even what else. I cannot. That's what Don stood for. Like this whole time,
You never knew
like I'm
that?
just looking. I Oh, okay. upkeep
I
on
honestly wish they had Bleach in there, cause even the guy even the guy in the video said that they were wondering why they didn't put Bleach in there. They could have called it Bond. It actually would have made more sense. Cause Bleach was actually popular at the
on.
time.
This is back in 2006, so yeah, there really is no excuse why Bleach shouldn't have been in
Man,
this.
and like the games, it felt like they were more creative back then. Like now, it just let's just make an arena brawler and let's make it just like Xenoverse. Let's have people create a character and walk around in this lame lobby and like it just copy and paste. It's just very derivative of other games that we've seen in the genre for the last few years. It's like they could have done something different with this. It's not a bad premise, even if you don't like the art style. Like crap, just stupid.
It honestly seems like real corporate, to be honest. Like from what I'm looking at, it's like like what you said, it's like every arena brawler has to be the same now, and it's no like substance to this. Like there really is no substance to this. When you really think about it,
I still
you look at
think,
this and it's like,
and I go ahead.
all right, you look at this and I'm just like, there should be more here. And yes, I only have like the first beta to go on, but from what I played and from what I've seen from the stuff that's now available to us, it just strikes me as like this should be more than just another one of these arena brawlers that just this like mashy dash smash dash a dash and mash game. That's the perfect that's perfect. A dash and mash fighting game. That's perfect.
Honestly, that is a good description. Like that's all it is. You dash toward the opponent, you mash some buttons. Like that's what it is. There's no substance to it. At least if they did something different, like if it was like Smash Brothers, I think they could do a lot more with that formula. With like making it like free for all or even like a team format, and then obviously like the stages and the way that they do it would be different. Like, man, like, man, it's sad. And I was thinking about this earlier. I think one of the reasons why I think one of the reasons why we're not seeing a lot of representations of other anime or other manga rather is because I think they're getting stingy with like the licenses. I think they're being cheap. And this is just me. This is me guessing. This is just me speculating. I think that they're being cheap because you know that all those licenses that cost money, and that was one of the reasons why like we weren't getting the crossovers at first. Like we didn't get. I think that was probably one of the reasons why we didn't get Jump Superstars and Jump Ultimate Stars or whatever on the DS. And that was one of the reasons. That was one of the issues. That was actually one of the issues that that was one of the issues before that I think probably was kind of halting that process of getting J Stars Victory Versus localized here in the States.
Not only that, but it's like it's not just that the dash and mash shit. It's also the fact that the story's weak. Like honestly,
Oh,
there
that
could have been
too.
the story for fuck's sake. It's like this is damn near every single like gathering of this kind of characters now. It's like, oh, they got dropped in by some mystical force. Now we have to fucking beat these other all these other clowns who got taken over by the Venom or whatever the fuck. And you know, there's gonna be some like big bad doing this. Light's probably helping them or some shit. Of course he is, because like he's gonna try to backstab the other dude. I don't know. I don't know.
And then the fact that they used
over
Trunks
here.
again. They got Trunks again, screwing around with the time, or maybe it's like this sort of time patroller type thing deal. Like I'm so tired of like they made between this and Xenoverse, they've made me kind of hate my own favorite character from back in the day. Like the story just did not. I'll be very surprised if that story ends up being good because honestly, I'm getting Xenoverse vibes from it. Just the whole entire package, really, but the story especially.
No duh there. It's like, oh, wonderful. Like Trunks is back here screwing up the multiverse theory or the time, not only just time, it's like the multiverse theory at this point.
And
it's
actually,
like there's so many versions of him now.
Super, so it's not too far fetched.
I'm willing to believe the multiverse theory, but still, my point being is they've used this man too much at this point. So it's like it's whatever. But thing is, they could have done like something like I don't know if you remember this, but the Teen Titans episode, the real one, where they had the guys pretty much like warped to another dimension, and they all had to like fight each other. And then they found out that the game was like rigged, and that the dude who took them all there was like stealing all their powers and shit. I don't know if you remember that, but
you know I
it could have been something along the lines of that, where it's like, okay, this tournament is going to have the best of the best from every corner of the universe or the multiverse or whatever the fuck. They could have. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I will actually give Super credit in this instance where they could have gone with that route. It's like whoever loses, your world gets blown up. So it's like there's some incentive to like you see Ichigo working with Aizen or Naruto and Sasuke working with Madara or just like something like that where they have to work together in order to actually beat whoever's trying to kill them. And then the final boss would be the guy who brought them all there in the first place.
So you're basically saying like
you could have light on this?
You're basically saying like a tournament of power for like basically all of the universes, for like all of like all the Jump universes, basically.
Yes, everybody's involved. Everybody.
Idea, which isn't a bad idea given the fact that I know there's a bunch of YouTubers that have done like videos kind of with that premise. So, I mean, that would be way better than because what they're essentially doing with this is basically kind of rehashing the whole time patroller thing. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like, what is the name of the like? That's how much I don't care about the story. Like, what's the name of the Jump? Like, what's the name of the Jump equivalent of the time patrollers? Or are they just called the Jump Force?
It's literally called Jump Force.
Okay,
like,
see, that's how much I did not care about. Like, that's
how our creative people are literally in the fucking Jump Force. That's how bad this is. This is so lazy. Oh my god! But there would be some incentive. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like just to like make it even worse is like you can't like it seems like. From what I can tell, it seems like you're only like limited to only like 3 styles. Like I said in that video, Goku, Luffy, and what was the other one? Naruto. I believe that was the other one. You're limited to 3. It seems like combat styles or whatever. It's like there's all these anime that y'all have, and all these manga franchises that y'all have. Like, why can't we? I understand JoJo. Like, I understand if we can't get, like, a JoJo moveset because of stands, you know. Not everybody's going to have, like, a stand, and then they would have to make their own stands for, like, each character or whatever. Like, it would be, like, too complicated or whatever. But, like, why can't we fight, like, Killua or Gon or any of these characters, you know, besides those 3 that I mentioned? That's, like the whole product just seems lazy.
Yeah. But, oh my god, man. And you could even have Light be the fucking coordinator for all I care. Okay? Like, make us have his ass like sneaking around in the background and him plotting against the dude who organized this whole thing. And then Light fucking backstabs him and let's have Light be the most OP fucker that we had to fight or something. I'm just shooting things because I'm just shooting shit because it's just like, this could have been so much more. It's like we all know that Light's going to betray whoever is organizing this because why else is he here? It's like,
and that's another thing. Like, if Light can be in the game in some,
why is he here?
like, if Light is in the game in some capacity, right? He's not playable. Why can't, if you're not gonna have all these other characters that people want, why not just put them in the background and say, hey, they're here. They're gonna have a supporting role. You can't play as them, but at least they're here. Because that was the thing with those games back in the day, like what I was mentioning earlier. There was representation there. Even if you couldn't play as the characters, there's representation there. Even if it was just as a support character or as an NPC, just as somebody that you meet along the way in the story. Like there's barely any of that in Jump Force. And I know like the biggest argument against all of that is just the fact that back in the day, like what I was mentioning, 1988 being the first time that they did a crossover or whatever. Like back in the day, like obviously games take more to make now. It's very expensive or whatever, but honestly, I don't care because at this point, at this point, Bandai Namco, they know what they're doing. They're the only ones. They're like the sole people that are able to make these licensed games like this. Like back in the day, we would get a Naruto game from like what's the name of the Clash of Ninja guys? Tomy. Let's just say Tomy. We'll get a Clash of Ninja game from like Tomy, and then we'll get like Dragon Ball Z from like Dimps and Spike. But it's not like that anymore because like everything is under the Bandai Namco umbrella, and they have this monopoly over the anime franchises, and as a result, like they've just become so creatively stagnant, for lack of a better word. It's sad. It's sad because we were both hyped up. I think that I can speak for both of us when I say that we were both hyped up when this game was first revealed at E3 at Microsoft's E3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's sad that it's like turned into crap now. Like the hype just died down. Now there are people out there that are like still. I don't know how anybody can still be hyped. Just like. Because I was looking at gameplay earlier, like Asta and Asta Yugi, Deku. I'm like, I cannot see myself paying $60 for this. Honestly,
with that reveal trailer, like that we saw, like I remember we were so pumped about that, and then 8 months later, it's like, oh, wonderful, and then we had that light reveal at the end of it. It's like, what the fuck is he doing here?
It's like you can play as Light. It's like how would that's not. It's like how is he gonna fight? And like there are characters that people are asking for, like Gintama. They're like back in the day there were characters from like basketball anime. It's like how would they even fit in? How would they like fit into as like fighters or whatever? But they got Yugi in there, so you can't really make that excuse. And even if you don't want to put them as fighters, like I said earlier, have them in the background. Just have them in the background. I mean, you have that hub. You have that hub world that y'all spent so much time making. It's freaking useless. So why not put those characters in that hub world? Why not have someone like Yo Asakura or the guy from Hitman Reborn or whatever. Have these characters in the background giving you missions instead of some random robot or whatever NPC. Like, that's all y'all gotta do. But again, like I said earlier, it's just pure speculation. I think it's just laziness. I think it's just Bandai Namco being cheap. They don't want to pay out for the licenses. And obviously we don't know what the DLC is gonna be, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. You know what would be funny is if the DLC is just characters from the franchises that already have representation. Because if it is that, then you know I'm on to something.
I see it. Oh my god, it just gets worse and worse, man. I don't. DLC, I can instantly see them like making people pay like $3 for a Bakugo, All Might and shit. I can just see that now. Like they are going to rip people off so hard with the DLC alone. I can see that
and stuff
already.
for like the creative characters, they're gonna do exactly what they've been doing with Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Because I think that's what they're planning. Cause it's that whole games as a service thing. They just want to keep you playing the game so they can nickel and dime you. They don't want to make a great game that you can just keep going back to. Instead, they just want to make a game that you just like keep going back to it, but it's not the same. Like it doesn't have replayability to it. You keep going back to it not because it's fun to like replay it or whatever. You keep going back to it because it's like more of a grind. It's more of a grindy thing, and that's what's in nowadays, unfortunately.
I'm looking back at the reaction to the first trailer, and like everyone just instantly popped for Light and Ryuk, man. Like they got the biggest pop out of everyone, out of everything in the first trailer.
It's like what the heck is going on? Why is he here?
It's like
no,
yeah.
It's like what's he gonna do? Open the book and start writing people's names down? Like how would he work? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, how would he work as a fighter? It's like
I don't know. You could have been like goofy with it or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, they missing a lot of characters. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about it.